Today we are going to look at Brutus's funeral speech in Act 3 of Julius Caesar. So this is right after Brutus and the conspirators murdered Caesar. And Brutus now has to go out and explain why they killed them and what happened. Brutus has a lot of work to do because, as we learned in Act 1, the citizens of Rome really respect and like Caesar. So he needs to convince them that Caesar's death was deserved and that they're in the right. Otherwise, they're going to call for the heads of the conspirators. So it starts out. Be patient till the last. So wait until I'm done speaking, please. Romans, countrymen, and lovers, hear me for my cause and be silent, that you may hear me. Believe me for my honor, and have respect to mine honor, that you may believe. Censure me in your wisdom, and awake your senses, that you may be the better judge. So right away, Brutus is doing two things to establish his dominance over the Roman people. He refers to them as Romans, and then countrymen, and then lovers or friends. He's showing that he is above them. He's establishing his power. He views them as citizens first and friends last. Now, he still has an emotional connection with calling them friends, but it's last. He also says, believe me and have respect for my honor. So he deserves respect for them. He deserves for the people to listen to him. But he then goes and gives some power back to the people by saying, censure me, judge me in your wisdom, and awake your senses, that you may be the better judge. So judge me in your wisdom, and then at the very end, you can make your own determination about what I've said and come to your own conclusion. So he's actually being very intelligent because he's acknowledging that the Roman people are wise and they should be able to come to their own conclusions. If there be any in this assembly, and a dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus's love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. So, if there be any in this assembly, if there be any in the crowd, any dear friend of Caesar's, I say, my love for Caesar was equal to yours. But the reason I killed Caesar was because I loved Rome more than Caesar. Brutus at least believed that killing Caesar was truly for the good of Rome. Maybe Cassius just wanted Caesar dead. Brutus truly 100% believed that Rome was better off without him. He thought that he was in the right, and he wants the audience, he wants the people of Rome to understand that. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. Brutus is willing to put himself and his loved ones second to the good of the general needs of Rome. And here's why. Had you rather Caesar were living and die all slaves than Caesar were dead to live all free men? Because back in Act 1, Flavius and Morellus were talking that if Caesar became in power, they would become servile or servants, and noble Romans do not serve other men. They just don't. So, had you rather Caesar lived and you live as slaves, or that he died and you be free? Of course, the majority of them are going to say that they want to live free. As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. So here we're seeing a repetition. As Caesar, as he, as he, as he. So Brutus is giving 3 reasons why he liked Caesar. As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. We were friends. I am sad that he is dead. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. But he lived a great life, and that makes me happy. As he was valiant, I honor him. He was brave, he was a noble Roman, so I honor him, I respect him. But, and we know that but is a shift, as he was ambitious, aka power hungry, I had to slay him. Because they truly believed, or he truly believed, Caesar would enslave all of the Romans. There's tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Here's all these positive things. I cry for his love. I'm happy for his success. I respect for his bravery, but death for his honor. Death for his power hungriness. So here now is when he starts his rhetorical strategies. And this is where he's giving the Romans a chance to speak, but as you'll find, they really can't. Who here is so base that would be a bondman, if any speak for him I have offended? So who here is so low, so not noble, that you would be a slave? Please speak, for him I have offended. Basically, if anyone speaks because they're offended by the death of Caesar, they are admitting that they would want to be a slave. Again, no noble Roman would do this. He does the strategy again. Who here is so rude that would not be a Roman? If any speak, for him I have offended. So who here is going to speak and admit that they're not a true Roman? Please. But again, no one can speak up, because now they'd be admitting that not only do they want to be a slave for Caesar, that they're not a true Roman. And then last but not least, who here is so vile, so disgusting, so unpleasant that would not love his country? If any speak, for him I have offended. I pause for reply. So basically now, if anyone speaks up, they hate Rome, they hate their country, they're a traitor. Again, no Roman will do this. And Brutus knows this. He has given them no out. Essentially now, his I pause for reply, he just dropped the mic. No one's going to speak up. No one will acknowledge what he said. Everyone has to admit that it's good that Caesar's dead. Otherwise, they'd rather be a servant. They're not a true Roman, and they are a traitor.